Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to show you a simple way of playing In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning. It's a nice tune. It's not one I do a lot, but I have recorded it recently, and I recorded it once before on YouTube, and it was kind of as a request. So I thought I'd do a video showing how you might want to play it. On this video I'm going to show you a simple way of doing it, and if you like that, then hopefully in the near future I'll also upload something with some of the tricks that I did in other videos that you might like. I mean, the simple version might well be the best, but and I might also try another video where I try it in a different key. Anyway, see how you get on with this, and if you like it, then you can try some of the other stuff as well, and maybe mix and match some of the tricks from the other videos and some of the simpler stuff. You know, might be a nice way of doing it. Anyway, I'm going to play it in C. And the opening line, the actual melody is. Okay. Sometimes it might be worth just. I didn't do that particularly nicely, but it might be worth. Just trying to play the melody on a single string or whatever, and try and play it sweetly. It might help with how it sits when you add the full of chords. And so for the first that first opening phrase, I'm just going to use two chords, which are C or a C major seventh. So that's the C chord. You probably know if you take that finger off, it's a C major seventh. And in fact, I might not even use this D string, so you could probably play that chord with one finger if you wanted. The other chord that I'm going to do is I'm going to put this second finger here on the B string, and I'm going to put my first finger down on a bass note on the A string here. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's the major seventh shape. So I've kind of taken my finger off there, so really it's just, and I'm just, that's just a C major shape. So you might just want to play those. And now, so I'm doing that again. This is the second line, and I'm going to keep my finger there, and then bar. I'm barring across just two strings, just the B and the G string, with my first finger there. So what's that? So it's, and you now use the little finger up there. Open string. Then the next chord I was going to do, I could have used some sort of D minor, and I suppose you could think of this as a D half diminished with a A flat at the bottom. But so I basically barred across the third fret, across the middle three strings really. Use my second finger to play the A flat at the bottom, and then this third finger is on the G string. Hopefully. And then I do this chord, which is basically a G7, but I'm only playing three notes of it. I'm playing the bass note, barred right across. So I'm playing this one, and then this. So you might have to play that back a couple of times to see what I did. I'll try and do it from the beginning. Hopefully that sounds familiar. The next line I'm going to do by playing, it's basically a D minor. I'm not going to bother with the D strings, and I could play an open. Sometimes open strings are good, maybe this is better. So basically, it's a D minor 7, so I've got this sort of shape here, which is this, and I'm playing, okay? So this is a G7. So the bar's going straight across. I'm playing the top 3 strings, or maybe the top 4 strings. So it's like this. The second finger's on the 4th fret on the G string, and I'm doing this on the top. So okay. And then the next note, which might, I don't know, it might feel hard, but you maybe don't have to hold the chord down to do that. Okay, this is going to be an E half diminished. I'm going to do open E string at the bottom, and then this one. So that's a little finger, second finger, and third finger on that's 8th fret there. Sorry, I don't have fret markers on the guitar. I was thinking of sticking something on, but sorry, I didn't get around to it. So where are we? We were doing this. And now I'm just going to go. So I could go. I'm messing. So those are the notes. I could go like this, and then to an A7th chord. So this is this is the barred straight across. Got the bass note there. Maybe I could use, if I don't want to use the bass note there, I could use an open A string there. That might be nicer actually. I'm doing something a little bit different. So I've got, hopefully this is still easy. Okay, so there's an E half diminished. Then I'm going down to this note here. And I can play the open E string at top. Okay. And then, so now I've got the A at the bottom. So this is sort of a flat 9 shape. So basically I've got the little finger here, the third finger here, it's 8th fret, and on the 6th fret I'm using my first finger. So how's that going to sound? So from this bit. You could even, so this might be nice, another thing. So you using this shape, and then you still go back to that shape again, but just change the bass note, and then move that one down. See what I'm doing? And keeping everything. I'm using the same shapes that I just described, but I'm just sort of delaying changing this shape to this one. I suppose it's sort of suspension thing. So okay. So and the next chord is F sharp minor, which I'm just going to do by barring straight across there. So and then it's a B7, which I'm going to do an open shape. Now, here's the thing that I've started doing occasionally on some of my arrangements, because I think it sounds nice. I was looking at some Chet Atkins stuff actually, and it just sometimes separates the melody out nicely to just play. So apart from the bass note, I'm using these two fingers, sorry, the first and third finger, to just play. So this is a B7 shape, you've probably seen it before. Yeah. So I'm just using those two fingers to do these two, to do the top and the third string, and then same two fingers to do the next two, so that then the second and the fourth string. So it doesn't really matter, but it just, I mean, you could go or whatever, you know, but I just thought, okay. Okay. Oh. So that bit at the end of the first half is some sort of turnaround. It's some sort of E minor, A7, D minor, G7. There's lots of possibilities there. So an E minor, I might just do it. It's sort of got an 11th sort of halfway down it, or a 4th or something. So it's got, I'm using the open strings where I can. So it's a sort of half a bar or most of a bar on the 7th fret, and then using that little, using my second finger there, and then an A7, which I'm just going to do maybe the open at A string, these two notes, and then a D minor. So this is the same. So my amp just did something funny. So this is a E minor, A7, the whole, then basically same two shapes as I just did there, but for a D minor and a G7. Okay, so now we should have something for the first half. Oh, I've forgotten how it goes now. Okay. Then the second half, it's going to be similar to start off with. And then okay, that's a C major 7th shape, but it's barred across the third fret. And I've got a little finger here, little finger there, second finger there, third finger there. Maybe wouldn't use that third finger. Then, so what I was doing here on my other version, so this one is F13 shape. So you probably know the F9 shape, where we use the third finger to bar across all those three strings. This is the 8th fret, then the first finger here, the second finger here, and then I put the little finger up there. Now you might find that tricky. So another way to do it would be to bar across, with your first finger, bar across the 8th fret, and then at the 10th fret, use your little finger up here, and maybe a 10th fret, on your 2nd string, use your 3rd finger. Or maybe not even bother with the 3rd finger. And I prefer that. Okay. Now the next chord would be some sort of E minor 11th. So how am I going to do that? I think I'll use the open E, and then I'm barring across the 5th fret with my 1st finger, and I'll use the 3rd finger on the G string. Okay, so I've got a E minor 11th. I'm going to follow with an A 7th, which involves moving this down one, changing the finger, and changing the bass note. I can't remember where I am now. Okay. So we're getting towards the end. So the next bit is, I might do this. So I'm using the open D string. This is at some sort of D minor 7. Okay, so this is a way of doing it. So it's that note with the little finger, that note with the 2nd finger, that note with the 3rd finger, and then so that's an E flat diminished, or D sharp diminished, I'm not sure what's the best way of calling it, which you may not know this shape. This bar's across the top 3 strings, and this 3rd finger goes on the B string, and the 2nd finger goes down there onto the A string on the 6th fret. So where do we get to? So that's just a little finger picking a melody out. Where were we? And then I'm maybe just this. So that's going to be an E at the bottom. It's a sort of, I suppose it's probably an E minor chord, but actually it's probably a C chord with a so you could do it like this. Where were we? So I'm just going to do, I was in two minds as to whether, or which one sounds better. To me, they don't sound tons different. If it was just in a performance, I don't think I'd mind one way or the other. So how about this way? I'm going to use my first finger across these two, which is on the 8th fret, and then my second finger there on the G string, and then have the E on the bottom. So then I'm going to do an A7th. Again, just these two. I've been barring them most of the time, but I could do them Sometimes I bar them, sometimes I don't. Often I've been playing open strings where I can, but sometimes it might be better to, you know, you could have a bit of a slide up there. Oh, I'm going to make an excuse now about my bad playing. This guitar's a little bit smaller than I'm used to, and I nearly always play 7-string guitar. This is my only 6-string guitar, I think. So, I mean, it's a lovely guitar, but I'm just not used to it. So that's why I make these errors. Nothing to do with me being rubbish. Where was I? Okay. I find this one easier to play, actually, I think. So, you know, I was saying this, so my hand's more in that position. Much the same, so this time I was using my second finger across those 2 strings, and this one down here rather than the same note up there, or it's a very different note up there. So, and then it goes. But I might do it like this. So I got to the A7th, and I could go, but I'm going to go whatever. I'm going to take my bar off and play an open string. Then I go into the D minor. I might use that shape that I used earlier. So that's just these 2. I'm using the open D, and then on the G string I'm here, and on the B string I'm here. And then I have to move my finger across there. Maybe you might find this easier. Yeah? Not sure which is easier. And then this. So sometimes, if a chord's hard to play, or even if it's not hard to play, when you're doing fingerstyle, I think this is probably something I think I learned from watching classical guitarists. So I'm going to play this chord, which isn't so hard to play. So this is, I'll show you what the chord is first. So it's first finger there, on the B string, 3rd fret. Second finger there on the bass, 4th fret. It's a sort of A flat, 7, flat 5. But sometimes it might be hard to get to a chord shape fluently in time. And maybe you're going to play this note first, so get there first, and then get the other notes in when you can. Yeah? It's where. We're nearly finished. So the last bit, I'm going to do so I quite like these chords. So it's quite a lot of 5 notes in each of these chords, slightly more than in most of my chords. So it's on the top is an F major 7 shape. You probably know this. You might know this shape. but I'm going to use my little finger. So that's da, and then I've got my third finger on the bass string there. So it's a sort of it's a G11, or sometimes you'd call that an F over G, or F major 7 over G. And then that's a sort of a G7 flat 9, or G13 flat 9. So what am I doing with that one? Keeping those two fingers in the same place. Top two strings now open, and the first finger on the G string. So okay, and now it just goes to the last chord is a C. Yeah, just a normal C shape. On the recording, I'll show you what I did at the very end, which was which I tend to overuse a bit. But rather than going to the C note, I first went to the D note, and the chord I played behind it was a B7 sharp 9, which you might know from Hendrixy sort of tunes. So this second finger, first finger, so I just delayed the resolution at the end of the tune, and this I use it quite a lot. It works. This sort of thing also works if there's a major 7th on top. So sorry, the major 7th of the original key, so a B on top. I don't know. And if you're playing with a bass player and they play a C, they don't know you're doing this. As long as the C is pretty low and your voicing's pretty high, it can still sound all right. So that's a good trick to know. Anyway, so what did I get for the second half? Should I try and play the whole thing in this style? Bear in mind, it's not the way I was doing it before. Okay. Well, I don't think that was a great performance, so I apologise for that. But it was okay. Hopefully you get the idea. Experiment with how you play it. Try to get the melody singing out nicely. If the chord's too tricky in any place, you could try and find some others, or you could not bother with the chords for a bit. Sometimes it might be nice. was very simple, but it could still sound good. You could try different feels. I don't know. That's a sort of Brazilian style thing, or I don't know, would it work as a waltz? Might do, sounds quite nice. Try various other things, you can mix it up a bit. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do comment if you're finding it helpful, if you've got any things that you think I should be doing better. I mean, I think it would be easier if I wrote tabs for everything I'm playing, or just normal music for everything I'm playing, but it's a bit time consuming. And also I realised it would be helpful if I had dots on my guitar. But if you think I'm going too slow or too fast, I mean, you can always rewind it, so if I'm going too fast, just rewind it, and good luck with it. I hope you enjoy it. It's a lovely tune. And if you do record it, stick it on YouTube and give us a link. Thanks. Bye.